All right. So where was we? So it tells you this mentality. While you think you're doing all this divine shit with your wearing, with your name, with your vocabulary, with now that you got dreads and took the perm out, you're doing yoga, you're eating well, and like I said, I'm not picking on these things. Like I said, those things are fine, but if you hold that as the ceiling on your spirituality, my belief, based upon ancient teaching, you have a fucking problem. You have a problem because this they tell you is you falling more. You need human. You need something that could be measured, something that could be quantified, something that could be weighed to dictate your spirituality. When what really dictates your spirituality is the alchemy you have done in your mind. The mind is all. The universe is mental. It says nothing about spirulina in the laws of Tahuti. It says nothing about goddamn oregano in the laws of Tahuti. That's for the body. So you put it in its proper context. You nourish the body while you're having this illusionary experience. That's the rules of this illusionary experience. But if that's all you got, a Ahriman has welcomed this statistics like a fucking handmaiden. Because this mentality for that evil deity, that evil god, he is called the destructive spirit. This the spirit welcomes this thought process as a handmaiden. That's one of his holes. I'm trying to talk to you. I ain't even talking to dead people. I'm talking to conscious people. Let's step this up. You want to be conscious? Let's be all conscious then. Deal with some shit. Not what you feel like dealing with. Let's deal with some real shit. You want to face it face to face? Now it's in your face. The royal penis is clean. A Russian philosopher, Vladimir Soloviev, warned against the dangers in his short narrative about the Antichrist, the true Antichrist. In a fictional story, Soloviev described the appearance of a great individual who taught world peace and became the first world leader, and later the reuniter of all the world's religions. That sounds like a wonderful guy. You know what I'm saying? He taught world peace. He became the first world leader. You know, he's so Obama right now. And Obama, who was a Muslim, he's uniting all the world's religion. He's a vegetarian. Oh my God, I didn't even realize I said that. He's a vegetarian. They even saying it. He's a vegetarian and an avid-sectionalist. I don't know what that is. Avid-sectionalist. Or no, anti-vivisectionalist. Whatever that is. And brings great material prosperity and physical comfort to all who acknowledge his authority. All without efforts on the people's part. This is the man. The world becomes peaceful, even docile, a mirror of sacrifice for individually in freedom. And know who that guy is? He's the Antichrist. He's the Antichrist. In this short narrative, they're trying to explain to this Russian guy, he's a philosopher. He's saying this is a short narrative about the Antichrist. The Antichrist. See, Christ is the Christos energy. It's spiritual. Vegetarian, world peace, comfort in the earth, a chicken in every pot, coconuts on every tree. That's the Antichrist. So maybe that'll give you an understanding why we brought forth white people, why Yaqub or the priesthood of Yaqub brought them forth. Because we were living in the Antichrist, we was running the earth, we was chilling. Something had to come here to get us on a spiritual path. If we was chilling in Africa and everything was good, there would be no reason for no brother Panic, no brother Bobby. We're here to do this work. This world has to be in shambles. It has to be in the realm of a Ahriman. Not the the greatest trick the devil did was made you think he didn't exist. What if that trick also included making you think it was Lucifer? When there's a whole nother hidden fucking energy called Jehovah, Yahweh, Allah, yes, him too. Anything that you have to pray down to is to remind you of your humanity, is that energy. You take it for what it's worth. If you feel otherwise, this is why I suggest don't even bring me up. I suggest you, if you're faithful in that and you believe that, then go ahead and believe that. You don't need to tell nobody. You know what you know. Or you tell everybody on YouTube how much you enjoy Allah, Jehovah, or whoever else. But that, from the understanding of our ancient people, that's the evil God. That's the evil God that is teaching you or manifest through something. Who you may even say, well, that was really Osiris back in the days. It may have been then, but energy changes. Names don't matter. The energy behind the names. See, when we try to contact Oshun and all of them, basically, when Oshun came, she said there's no more love in the world. I'm eating off of porno movies. I was like, well, that's not too bad. And she said, it was when you were a love goddess. See, there's no more love because the kind of love she was into doesn't exist based upon ulterior motives. I love you because you act like this. I love you because you make me feel this kind of way. There's no unconditional love, which is the purest of her energy. Now, with that being said, she's eating off porno, so meaning that name is the same, but the energy has changed. The energy has changed. So you may be able to trace Allah or whoever you think is your divine entity back to some Kemetic shit, some Sumerian shit, or whatever that makes it more divine than just you sitting on your knees praying every day in a religion where half the motherfuckers on the planet, or shit, the majority of motherfuckers on the planet, went crazy doing. And you say, well, not my Allah. Them niggas is dealing with another Allah. All of that confusion, all of that comes from another ancient understanding. And that's basically, there's an evil demiurge spirit, an energy that feeds off of humanity. I told you, they showed you that shit in them two movies, the Titan movies, the Clash of the Titans, the new one, and then the second one, whatever that was, the same people, same actors. They kept showing you how they kept saying the gods was dying because the people stopped praying to them. The Olympian gods are the demiurges. That's why Zeus always throwing lightning bolts at your ass. And that's why you have this concept of they're just coming down to earth, fucking you, raping you, doing whatever. And he has all these humans on his shelf because they're using humanity as toys, as their puppets. And what they need is for you to pray for them. And they get that from anxieties. So that's why they're constantly showing you earthly anxieties, putting you in a place where you need, even conscious people, I need to pay rent. I need my kids to do this. I need the chemtrails to stop. I need this. That's the energy. That's not white people doing that. That's those demiurge gods that sit over you, that feed off of your anxiety. Each anxiety, each thought you have goes into the universe. Something eats off of that. They can't eat off of high frequency thoughts. So when you're dealing with deities and gods and transforming yourself, they can no longer feed off of you. You become amongst them. Therefore, you set the rules and you create whatever reality you want. That's the beauty of what I'm trying to show you in class. That's our method. That's our science. That's how we get out of this thing here. You understand? That's how we get out of this thing here. By deifying yourself. You don't know how to do that no more. You don't do it with a name change. You don't do it reading a book. You don't do it with an outfit change. You don't do it with a language change. You don't do it with a diet. You can't do it with yoga. You may feel good. Because those things are designed to make you feel good. And maybe feeling good may eventually lead you to some science. Or feeling good will only do what it has been doing so far. Inflating your ego. You walk around feeling better than your Christian cousins. You walk around feeling better than your auntie who don't know nothing but Jesus Christ. Your brother who don't get it just like you. You walk around feeling better, but the mere fact is you're still walking around with him. Your mind is still walking around with him. And of course, oh, Patty, you walking around with him too. Absolutely. But my mind is not here. That's what 10%, we use 10% of our brain. In the Bible, that's the 10% of the tithes that you give up. So I give up 10% tithes, meaning I walk around the planet, they only give, my intelligence is so far, I only need to give 10% of my mind to intermingle in this shit. Because I activated and tapped into that other 90% of what they call dark matter, dark energy, my niggas. And really, if you go on the universe, as above, so below, the physical light that you see in the universe is actually only 4%. So we round it up to 10% of brains you're using. But you're actually, and really that lowered to 4%. That's why there's only 4% in the universe. 75 and 25% of dark matter and dark energy. 75-25 or 75-23, whatever it is, that leaves 4 out of it. The dark matter. That's the 90% of the brain, or the mind, I should say, because the brain is just a physical apparatus. The mind that you're not using. What I show you is how to tap into those aspects of your mind. So those 10% of tithe you pay that to this energy. You twist it around. Instead of that full 10% being under control of whatever happens, whatever's trifling, you react. Even that 10%, I give them now because I know how to control the 10%. That 10%, you reacting to it. They killed Trayvon Martin. You got a whole year of work to do now. And really the work you're doing is putting up pictures and saying it's a damn shame everywhere you go. Every time you go to family discussion, but Trayvon though. But Mike, and they killed another one. But these cops, Al Sharpton did this. Jesse Jackson did that. And they shouldn't be doing that. That's because you're reacting. So those are the 10%. That's the 10% of your loser brain. I pay 10%. So I'm walking around like my mind is somewhere else. I activated that part of me that really matters. You can do it too. Come to Brother Panic's class, occultlectures.com. The royal penis is clean. So he described what you would call the perfect world leader. He's an anti-vivisectionist, whatever that is. He brings material prosperity and physical comfort to all who acknowledge his authority. He's a great individual who taught world peace and the world leader. He's the reuniter of world religions. But he, in our divine understanding, is actually the true Antichrist. Not Lucifer, but our Ahriman, or Jehovah, so on and so forth. So you need to understand that, all right? Understand that. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what we got here. The feeling of being a member of the whole cosmos was not a mere abstraction. From the mysteries, they received directives based upon the laws of the stars. So listen carefully. The feeling of being a member of the whole cosmos was not a mere abstraction. You didn't feel that abstractly. So when I told you earlier, you got black people, why you on Saturn for? What's that all about? We here on Earth right now. That's because they don't have this feeling of being connected to the whole cosmos. So there was a time the feeling of being a member of the whole cosmos was not just abstract. It wasn't just, well, I know I'm a black person and I'm a god, so I must read about Saturn and Pluto and Sirius and Pleiades and Andromeda and the sun. Why? Because I'm black. But you don't really feel how you can connect to the energy, reflect the energy, and communicate with the energy. because it's actually abstract to you, even though you're saying it. But there was a time where it wasn't abstract. The laws of the stars, or the action. Let me go back. The direct for the mysteries, from the mysteries, they received directives based on the laws of the stars. I told you, I activated that 90%. How I operate, how I'm talking to you today, and how I know what to present to you is because I get my directive from the cosmic light. I told you in the mysteries of light, there's a level where there's the one sun that you're dealing with out here. Then you activate the inner sun. Light connects with light, and you also need to contact in the inner world the dark light. Out of darkness comes light. Out of black people came white. Out of darkness comes light. You understand that? So that means when you go into this inner world, this in the dark world, you come up with new light, and that's the light of the stars, the cosmos, where you are taking your directives from a cosmic order. Phil Valentine called it light codes. You still can access these light codes. You got to know how to open up the pathways. Start with a herb pack. Start with some classes. The royal penis is clean.
Facebook.
OccultLectures.com. Go get with it. That's with an S. OccultLectures.com. Go and get your shit. Go on the About Panic. If you just need to go there and read, at the top of the page it says more, M-O-R-E. Click on that and you got a whole bunch of shit on candles, powders, oils, whatever you need. Go into the About Panic, look at testimonies, find links. Go into the classes, you'll find class start times, the courses. Everything you need is up there. OccultLectures.com. Know what I'm saying? I'll show you how to contact and get your directives from the motherfucking stars. And this will conduct your actions in the whole conduct of life. The stars, they receive directives based on the laws of the stars for their actions and their whole conduct of life. That's what I'm talking about. That's who we are. That's who we are. We ain't sitting around worried about no fucking chemtrails. The audacity of you to say that. What they doing in Ferguson? You small-minded Negro. You colored folks. Nigga, you get your directives from the stars, and there's no light you can't touch. Once you go into that inner world, out of darkness comes light, just like out of niggas came white. The ancient star wisdom was no way in akin to arithmetic astrology. Sometimes considered valuable today. Yes, I'm glad I highlight that. So this arithmetic, I want to say that again, because I want niggas to hear this, because I've been telling you this shit, how important this goddamn Mercury in retrograde bullshit is that you following. Does it exist? Yes. Should Taurus not get with a Leo? Perhaps, but Khadijah's a Leo and I'm a Taurus. We've gone past our animal self. When we act like humans, that's when we have conflict. But when we act like the gods we are, nothing could stop us. The great old ones that we are, nothing could stop us. Because it's beyond this fucking zodiac, which is the circle of time here, and it dictates humanity. And Gnosticism, they call them the evil archons that help this evil deity create this reality. The evil angels. And you niggas is all in love with this shit. Should you study it? Yeah, you study it in the context to understand how it runs and deal with humanity and how this earth works, how this time works. But to celebrate it is foolishness. Foolishness. And listen closely in your ancient study. The ancient star wisdom was in no way akin with arithmetical, which is just arithmetic. So arithmetical astrology, sometimes considered valuable today. So astrology, as we know and deal with it, has nothing to do, or at very least, at the best, is second to ancient star wisdom. You need to know that. Come on, when I'm saying is sound, I know you spent a lot of time going, Mercury is in conjunct with Pisces and Uranus and yes, all of that is true because these are still stars. But you got to step back and say, well, what is this really dictating? Is it dictating your, because remember, you're only in one little system. So that of this zodiac, that's not a universal reality. It's only a reality in this system as we go through these houses based upon this sun, which means this is a reality dictated in this realm. All right, it's not an absolute reality that you don't have the ability to go beyond. That's why all the zodiac was animals, because they was trying to encode to you. They use these zoo types to encode to you. That's why most of them are half animal and have either another symbol connected to them or a person connected to them. Get it right. Get it right. Or definitely, if they don't have it, it's a meaning. Now, Dr. C. Freeman L. taught that, let's say, you said, well, Libra doesn't have an animal connected to it. He said there was a time where a mule was connected to Libra, and those two backpacks was on the other side. They eventually got rid of the mule and had the just the scales left for Libra. You get what I'm saying? So he said earlier, Dr. C. Freeman L. said earlier, there was an animal attached to every zodiac, meaning the concept was if you get on the human level, then those zodiacs are there to dictate how you should act towards human. But you can go above that. That's the story of Christ, which is the conscious people supposed to be cultivating the Christos or the Christ energy, why his number is 13. And why he had disciples, which means to discipline those energies. His disciples meant to discipline, and those disciples were nothing but the zodiac. Meaning, in your spiritual work, you're supposed to overcome being Mercury's in retrograde. If you haven't, I don't give a fuck. Do what you need to do. But come on, the study is there. The concepts is there. That's what Jesus Christ is. A nigga who said, these don't dictate me. I discipline these energies. So will the energies come up? Is it real? It's absolutely real. Taurus in me comes up. It will come up. And the aspect that 10% of tides is supposed to come up. I'm supposed to act and roll like a Taurus. That's why I chose to be born under this energy. But there's the aspect of my consciousness that I work on that is not going to be dictated by Taurus. You understand? Not going to be dictated by Mercury in retrograde. For instance, when Wayne did his lecture, Wayne said, well, it was like this and like that. You know, Mercury was in retrograde. So I don't ascribe to that. I don't give a fuck about no Mercury being in goddamn retrograde. But most people do. So if I'm doing a lecture and it depends on other people to come, that's when I need to factor in Mercury being in retrograde. Because other people believe in it and will be affected by it. And that's where their mind is, even though I'm not. If I'm making a personal choice for me, I'm not going to let Mercury no retrograde stop me. Like Bobby Hemmett said, you wouldn't even know what that shit is until somebody told you what it was. You've been doing business as usual until somebody told you that's what that is. You know what I'm saying? So now, let's keep going. Ahriman in the flesh. Let's talk about him in the flesh. This is humanity on earth cannot escape this incarnation of Ahriman. It will come inevitably. But what matters is that people can find the right vantage point to confront it. Let me say it again. Ahriman in the flesh. Humanity on earth cannot escape the incarceration of Ahriman. That's telling you that no man or woman, no matter how advanced, some human shit is going to come out. No matter what. You can say this is the ego too. Now, I told people, I'm getting over my ego, You'll never get over your ego. You've heard me say that before. And that's what this means. You can't escape this incarceration. As long as you're having a human experience, something human, you only can suppress it. That's what I said is your 10%, your true 10% of giving tides. Right? Because some human shit's going to come out. I told you, with your ego, you say, I'm over my ego. Somebody smack you, let's see, I'm not going to smack you back because I have no ego. Somebody kicking your mama in the ass, you don't start saying, I'm not going to help you, mama, when this guy's kicking you in the ass because I don't have an ego. Or you wouldn't say, well, I guess you must have did something. It's the laws of attraction. It's Ma'at balancing itself out, so they must be going to kick my mama's ass. No, you're going to go choke the shit out of them. You know it and I know it. So you cannot escape it. Meaning you have to do yoga. You have to eat healthy. You have to present yourself in a dress. You have to present yourself under a name. You have to present yourself in your language as where you stand. So that's why I said I'm not demonizing those things, but if you think that's what makes you spiritual, you have a problem. But if you indulge or participate in it, it's not a problem as long as you keep it in the context of you have to present yourself and operate a certain way within your consciousness. I'm not stupid. You change your name to Ptah, you may really have the dream to do it. All I say is live up to the shit for real. Stop saying my name is Ptah because I had a dream that my name was Ptah and change my name on Facebook to fucking Ptah. I somehow have made it. No, go study Ptah. Go study priesthood of Ptah. Be able to tell me some Ptah shit that I ain't never heard before. And not only have a dream, you should change your name to Ptah. Tell me what Ptah told you in the dream that ain't on the planet. How about that? Tell me what Ma'at told you or taught you about the concept of Ma'at that you can't find in any other book. Don't tell me your name is Ma'at, then repeat some shit that somebody else, not even from a book, but that somebody else said about fucking Ma'at. How about that? Tell me some shit Ma'at came to you in a dream and said, this is the new hot shit. See, I don't hear that part. So you're taking this name Ma'at because that's what you ascribing to be, based upon a concept of what you heard. So you cannot escape this incarnation. We're going to be human. But the idea is, but what matters is that people find the right vantage point which to confront it. Remember, I told you this before. I've been telling you this already. When you go to Walmart, you do Walmart shit. When I go to Walmart, I don't go in there and say Hotep. I go in there and find a goddamn anchor, a battery, some goddamn stockings, Fruit Loops, and some tuna. Why? Because that's what Walmart is. I do, when in Walmart, do as Walmartian does. I don't try to Hotep it out. I don't try to conscious it out. I don't try to take it to the next level. None of those things. I do none of those things. Why? Because I understand what matters is that people find the right vantage point when to confront this thing. How do I confront it? With my conscious work. What I'm doing now is confronting humanity. When this camera is off, I put humanity in its proper place and my consciousness in its proper place. I know how to confront this incarceration that I'm in. In other words, if I'm in jail, I know how to rock and roll in jail. Most of y'all are out of control. You don't know what to do in jail. You ever go to see them jail shows? You got one nigga in jail trying to fight the police and act crazy and bumping his head on the wall. That's you niggas. You don't know that you're in jail, number one, and that how to handle jail. The real niggas in jail become the trustees and not from kissing ass by understanding the system. They ain't confronting the guards. They fucking up other inmates. They understand the system. And unfortunately, that's what it is. But there's ones who know and there's ones that's just banging their head on the wall. Getting thrown in the hole. You understand? So they know, you got to know how to confront the situation you're in. I know how to confront this prison. I mean, I know how to deal with humanity and I know how to deal with spirituality. I know when they cross. I know when they intersect. And I know when not to leave one alone for the other, in other words. I know when to say, fuck that. That's human shit. I don't need to pimp that out. Let that be what it is. Alright? Move forward. He would like to keep people so obtuse that they can only grasp mathematical aspects of astronomy. And that's what you have today. All these deep niggas are telling you about time and when Mercury is in conjunct with this, or they tell you, now it's time to do magic. Why? Because Pluto is in conjunct with Uranus. Now it's not a time to do magic. Why? Because Pluto is in conjunct with Uranus. Oh, they tell you, we're going to notice all of this shit that you never seem to notice because Uranus has lined up with the sun. Or the sun is now hitting off more solar flares, so we're going to notice all of this shit. And same niggas dying. So more niggas start dying, getting shot by police. Well, that's why they're shooting at the children more, because all of these solar flares are happening. All the moon is now a blood moon. Those are mathematical, dealing with time is math. These are mathematical aspects of astronomy and astrology. All of that is a field day from Ahriman, the true evil God, God destructive. So all your conscious niggas doing that, listen to what I'm saying. You ain't doing nothing but fucking with your true evil, which is what you've been regulated down to. Step up. Don't be mad at me for telling your ass, step the fuck up. Been fooled. Thinking you dealing with your ancient science, but they show you this is the true hidden evil. The devil fooled you into believing that he don't exist. This is what you don't think exists. Because if I was to tell you, your very humanity and the things you do and think you're saving yourself is actually evil. Your zest for organic food. Your zest for fucking yoga and breathing. Even Morpheus told you, do you think that's air you're breathing? All right, let's get it together now. We're going to be real, let's be real. You can only grasp the mathematical aspect of astronomy. That's what that is. So while you think you're deep and you breaking it down and dropping all this science, come on, dog. You've been fooled into that true hidden evil that you think don't exist. You think you're doing something great for humanity, informing the people. That in ordinary life, nothing in the way of knowledge is considered really useful unless it helps to put food in your mouth. Now, we heard that with black people. How is this going to help black people? We need an economic budget. We need to raise black people up. We need to do this, that, the other. I mean, I'm sure that documentary that's going around is real useful, but it's talking the same shit from a different angle. That's the same shit Eric Michael Dyson, all them niggas that we laugh at. Cornel West, Skip Gates, and all the other niggas that come on TV and tell black people what they need to do. Al Sharpton. Now you have this Hidden Truth documentary. I never even watched it. I've seen a couple of highlights, but you got masterful niggas who are much better than these niggas I just named, but they're basically talking about an economic plan, a plan to, take over media, politics, and all that, which, let me be absolutely clear, there's a part, we need that. We need that. I just leave that to other men. That's not what I do. And I don't cover that. I don't cater that. I'm here for spirituality. So don't put me in that situation. Find people who, if we want an economic plan, there's people who dedicate themselves to that. Spiritually, though we need that, we need to understand what that still means.